Hello and welcome everybody to the VooPlayer Q&A weekly webinar call. We're going to get started here in just a minute, but before we do, if you would be kind enough to confirm that you can both hear my audio as well as see my screen, which should say VooPlayer Q&A on it, and then we can get started. Thank you. All right, it looks like we're getting some confirmations. Dean is saying that everything is good. Hello, Jeff, Dave, Caitlin. Welcome everybody to the VooPlayer Q&A weekly webinar call. My name is Peter. I am VooPlayer's product manager, and we're holding these calls in order to answer any questions that you as users may have, provide training on any advanced use cases for utilizing video in your business, also to showcase new stuff that we've been working on, as well as to gather feedback on how we can improve VooPlayer. Be that if you have critique or ideas or suggestions on how we can improve, those are more than welcome. All right, so a couple of housekeeping notes. One, with regards to the format of the webinar, it's pretty straightforward. At any time that you have a question, just feel free to drop it in the chat box, and we'll answer them in the order that they come in. Additionally, if you're not able to attend one of these webinars, replays are available both on our YouTube channel as well as in our Facebook group, which if you haven't subscribed to or joined, I do encourage you to do so. Alrighty. Did I miss anything else? No, I think that's it for housekeeping notes. So we can get straight into it. As I mentioned, at any time that you have a question, just feel free to put it in the chat box. So last week, I presented to you a demo of the personalized data inside of the videos and how that's working. So pleased to announce that we released that today. So the first version of that is available on for everybody who is enterprise at least. So you can start playing with it and start testing it out. There might be some initial bugs until we kind of figure out covering all of the different use cases. But I do encourage you, let me actually paste this over to the chat box so you have it. So that's the full announcement, and there's a short video in there with some nifty examples and how you can utilize this. So with regards to just to kind of encompass what this first release includes, so includes the personalization of the overlays content. As I mentioned last week, we are working on expanding this to gates, funnels, etc., etc., etc. So we're starting off with overlays, and that's included in this first release. Also, the URL query string parameter customization is enabled, as is the first CRM integration for the personalization, and that's going to be Intercom. So Intercom is already supported, and if you are utilizing Intercom as your CRM, you can customize it, connect it and integrate it. I'll walk through maybe one use case, but I wanted to reserve more time for answering questions this time. So, and before anybody asks, yes, we will be adding ConvertFox to the list of integrations. So there's going to be a full integration for ConvertFox, supporting both opt-in, capture, personalized data, as well as event tracking inside of the CRM. So if you are still, as I imagine a lot of you are, interested in that ConvertFox integration, do make sure to cast a vote for it. We just added it to the product board, so under consideration and integration requests, it already started picking up some speed, so do cast your vote for that ConvertFox integration. All right, so that's it with regards to the supported integrations. Let me just kind of walk through what personalized data is once more. It allows you to take data, if you have it stored somewhere, or if you want to utilize something from a previous step in your marketing funnel, you're able to pass that data on to VooPlayer, so you can get cool stuff like this, like personalized greeting welcoming employees to your offices, or you can use very custom. So here in this overlay, let me just actually kind of full screen this so you can see it. So here in this overlay, I'm utilizing the primary use case, which is a custom attribute, as well as the company name, saying, hey, you need a hosting video, get a custom offer for your company WooPlayer. Whereas for another contact, it would look like, hey, you need a marketing video, get a custom offer for your company name. So you can put together custom offers, et cetera, et cetera. You can utilize any piece of data. You can utilize location data. So if you want to utilize, hey, I want to capture their attention and I can figure out that they're from Austin, you can utilize the location data inside of those personalization overlays. So last week, as I mentioned, I went through some use cases on how this can be set up, and I'll go through maybe one today just to cover the basics of this, so everybody's familiar with it, but the detailed documentation about this integration and new feature is available in that link that I just pasted in the chat box. So that's one thing that I wanted to go over. The second thing that I wanted to go over also with regards to upcoming features. So we're nearing the release of the auto-transcribe speech to text, meaning that you're going to be able to upload your video and then you can request for it to be transcribed. So for example, if I uploaded this webinar, I can have it be transcribed, and then everything that I'm saying would be translated over to text. So basically it would extract the audio and then transcribe it over to text and generate a subtitle file, and then you can, if you'd like, request additional translations. So give me a German subtitle, give me a French subtitle, give me a Portuguese subtitle, what have you. So that's upcoming, and I don't want to necessarily commit to saying in the next release, but in the next couple of releases, we're going to see this as well inside of WooPlayer. So that's also something to look forward to. All right, so those are kind of a couple of new things that have surfaced inside of WooPlayer, the personalized data in videos and auto-transcribe speech to text. With regards to the personalized data, before we get into it, do bear in mind that this was just released today. So if you run into any issues, or if you have some additional feedback on how we can improve this, we're more than open to that feedback. So as I said, I wanted to do one quick demo of how this can be utilized. So I like this demo with the welcome to my office. So I'll do it once more. Let me just grab the URL of this video so I don't have to go digging for it again. So this is the URL for this video. So I'll start from scratch. So I'll come over here to create a video, and I'll do it by URL. This is a YouTube video, and I'll say welcome to my office. So let's just go ahead and create that video from scratch. So we have a brand new video that we can work with. And then what we want to do is add some content which can be personalized. So as I mentioned, currently this is available in overlays. So what I'll do here is I'll just add a new overlay. I'll add the image overlay. I really like this one. And I'll position it over here on the side. And here I can start adding personalized data. So as I mentioned, you have two basic ways in which you can add personalized data. You can add it via the URL, meaning that, so for example, let's do that first, and then we can get to the integrated providers. So welcome to our office, and then we want to include the person's name. So I can come just over here to the new personalization menu, and I can either select one of the predefined values, or I can create a custom value. So for example, in my use case, this works pretty well. So I'll just say person name, and if I don't have that value, I can provide a fallback value. So that's going to be utilized if in any case you don't provide the key value. So welcome to our office, person name. So let's just see that in action. So let me just save that, and we can watch this video. So now, considering that this is going to be personalized via the URL, currently we don't have anything in the URL, so there's no personalization is going to occur. So it's just going to say, welcome to our office guy. So how I can personalize this is, as you noted, I have that key value of person name. So all I would need to do basically is just include that in the URL. So person name is going to be, I don't know, John. So now when that video is viewed, that key in the URL is going to replace this key, and we're going to get a result of welcome to our office, John. So that's I believe pretty straightforward and easy to understand. What important thing to note is that all those keys can work in text content, they can work in image content, they can work as part of the link. So for example, if I wanted to customize this URL, so if I wanted to say, for example, click here for a custom offer, and this can be example.com/offer, and then I can include whatever have you company, for example, and I'll create a custom key. I'll create customer whatever, customer company, let's call that the custom attribute, and we'll say your company is going to be the fallback company. So I'll just save that. So you can again see that if I don't have that key provided in the URL, we're going to get the fallback value. So you can see maybe over here on the bottom. Let me just I think I didn't save that overlay. Let me just do that. Oh, I did. All right. So let me just say, all right. So copy this. All right. And let's save that. And now let's refresh that. And actually, sorry, and let me include that. So customer company is going to be, I don't know, Acme. Why not? So we can see that with this personalization feature, not only can you customize the display of the content over the video, but you can also customize the links. So now this link is offer/Acme, so you can kind of direct people to custom links just by providing those parameters and replacing the values with them. So that's the URL personalization, and it's pretty straightforward, as I mentioned. And the other option you have is the ability to connect a CRM. Currently only Intercom is supported, and you can do so by coming over here to advanced options, selecting personalized data, and selecting, currently I have only my Intercom integration, and you can provide one user, which is a good sample for you. So I'll include Bill Zimmerman at mwenterprises.com. We can test this just to make sure that we got it. We got all of the data, and we can confirm that. So with that integration connected now, so now we're doing the second method, which is via the connected CRM. With that integration connected, now all of the keys which were pulled from that integration are automatically going to become available in that menu. So you can see over here that now I have a lot of new keys, such as name, as well as the sample values for those keys. So I have the name, I have the avatar image URL, which I need the company's location, last seen at, updated at, social profiles, everything that's pulled from Intercom. So what I need here, of course, is the avatar image URL. So I can use that as the value for Bill when he comes to watch the video. Good thing to note is that you can combine both connected integrations as well as the URL personalization at the same time in the same video. So if I just leave this as is, I can come over here to watch this video. And the only thing you need to do for the connected integration is pass in personalized for, this is going to be Bill Zimmerman at mwenterprises.com. right? So that's going to pull all of the information for Bill Zimmerman, as well as continue using the other URL keys. So now I have both the connected integration as well as the URL parameters. I can do somebody else in here. I can do myself, email.com, and then it's going to utilize my my picture. It's going to pull the picture from my intercom. So you can see how this can be built up to really start covering some really amazing use cases. Here we have a personalized value from the URL with an image from a connected integration, directing to a custom-made URL for the visitor. So you can really build this out to be a rather intrinsic addition to your marketing arsenal, and have the ability to really get people engaged with the content. So that's one thing, of course, with regards to the connected CRM integration. The second part is, and this is really the kicker, is that for every person who's viewing your video, we are going to feed back their viewing data to your integration, to your CRM or to your autoresponder. So in your CRM, you're going to be able to start seeing, hey, this person has seen video "Welcome to my office" and has watched it for 1% of the video, and you're going to be able to utilize all of that data in further marketing efforts and automation. So that's really it in a nutshell. I purposely kind of skimmed through this because I really wanted to get to some questions regarding this rather than just talk again throughout the entire webinar. We could talk about this for hours and hours with regards to everything that's possible, but I really wanted to kind of open up the floor now to any questions that you might have with regards to the personalization or any other features. I see that some questions already started coming in, so we can start getting to them. Ronaldo is asking, are you going to support real MP3 hosting? I upgraded an audio file, but noticed that once I downloaded it, it's an MP4. Good question. So what we do, we recently, as some of you might remember, added the support for uploading MP3 files. Let me just pull that up real quick. So we recently launched audio-only VooPlayer. So the way that this is handled is that you upload an audio file. However, we do convert that to a video file. And the reason for that is that the entire technology which covers VooPlayer, including everything from how the player itself behaves to the security of the protected content, all of that is based on video technology rather than audio technology. So we as much as we would like to be a universal media player, we are primarily a video player. So that's why, at least up until now, we are transcoding all of the audio files in a video format and are serving them as such. There are already some enhancements to this feature upcoming, such as visualization of the audio, and we can also consider how we can utilize only an MP3 file. I don't think it's feasible with the way VooPlayer is currently set up without significant reconstructing, but it's definitely something that we can look at. Thanks for that question, Ronaldo. Let's see. Jarek is asking, just wondering if there are any plans for Infusionsoft. I do believe, and I might be mistaken, but let me just check. Infusionsoft. Yeah, so Infusionsoft is on the board with regards to potential integrations, which we are considering. We haven't received a ton of feedback for it just yet. So if you haven't already, or if you have already, do continue voting on it, and hopefully that's going to drive some priority behind that. We are really customer driven, and we for example, if it was up to me, I know that Infusionsoft is a huge company and that they do some amazing stuff, and that there's a lot of value which can be extracted from there. Whereas ConvertFox is a new player on the market, which covers maybe 1/100th of what Infusionsoft does, and thus delivers less value. However, a lot of our customers are using ConvertFox as well, which is why we're gravitating towards that. So hopefully you can understand that, but as soon as we start getting more votes for integration with Infusionsoft, we will be able to facilitate that. Lewis is asking, do sub accounts hide all WooPlayer branding, including the links to help, documentations, etc.? The answer to that is pretty straightforward, and it is affirmative. Caitlin is asking, or rather saying, I'm trying to embed a video as a background in a header in a website, and I'm new to WooPlayer. It's taken a long time to load and also flickers with some play buttons flashing. I use the embed code within the HTML for this. I see what you're saying. So you want to have a video background on your in the header. So that's not really a purpose of what WooPlayer does, nor it should be utilized like that. We are a video player, not a video background. So again, it's a really an edge case that we've never really encountered or wanted to necessarily support. But if you do reach out to us at support@woolplayer.com with the URL of that page, perhaps with the admin access, we can see how we can facilitate that. But if you want to have a video in the background, you really don't need a video player. You can just use the video source directly, meaning that WooPlayer is of very little use in that scenario. So if you already have a video source that can be hosted on WooPlayer, that's fine. You can just get that video source and probably embed it in your theme somehow to use it as a background video. A lot of these theme builders nowadays have, hey, you want to create a video background element, just give me a video source and that's it. You don't necessarily need a player for that. William is saying, hey, audio-visual would be great advantage. What is your take on universally translating the displaying? What is your take on universally translating the displaying text on the screen? Universally translating it. So I talked about that. I'm not sure I understand. Sorry. You're going to need to clear that up a little bit, William. So I talked a little bit about the auto transcribe feature, which we're going to have, which is going to translate the voice of the video. We also recently released the translation and localization feature, which is going to enable you to custom override any text inside of WooPlayer controls and stuff like that. So I'm not sure what you're referring to when you say universally translating the displaying text on the screen. If you can clarify that a little bit, that will be appreciated. Ronaldo is also saying, what is going to be the next feature available on the next update? No major promises thus yet. As I mentioned, what we're kind of focused on right now is the auto transcribe feature. So that's something that we are going to push forward as hard as we can. As I mentioned, I can't guarantee in the next release. Lewis is saying, if the auto transcribe has voice audio with music in the background, will this cause a problem with the transcription? We had several such scenarios, and the services which we are using no need to hide it. We can be transparent with this. We're going to be using Amazon's transcribe service. So with that in mind, it's a pretty reliable service for transcription, and it eliminates the music only. It only gets the words and phrases it recognizes as speech and ignores the background noise. So hopefully that answers that question as well. Alrighty. Let's see if we have any more questions. We covered a lot there. I urge you to test out this personalization feature. A lot of people have requested it, so hopefully we're going to start getting some nice feedback on it. As I mentioned, do keep in mind it's still kind of in testing phases, so be gentle, but be honest with us with things that you find not working, and think that can be done better. William is saying language translating of the audio text by selecting specific language makes more sense. Yes. So as I mentioned, part of the transcribe feature is also going to be translations, meaning that, for example, again, as if I uploaded this webinar and I requested transcription, it will generate an English subtitle for me. However, I'm also going to have the ability to say generate French, German, Russian, and what have you. And that's going to generate subtitles for those languages. So hopefully that clarifies that. If not, let's just pick up this conversation on support. Lewis, is there a chance that the play arrow could be customized so it can be resized? Yes, that's one of the things that we've considered in the past. Haven't gotten a lot of feedback for that, so definitely something that we can look into. Stephanie, I came late. Will there be a replay of today's webinar? Yes, it's going to be available later today on our YouTube channel. So and I think you'll also get an email right after the webinar with the replay link as well. Alrighty. Great questions today. Thanks everybody for joining. If you do have additional questions, or if we didn't get to any of your questions, just feel free to drop us an email at support@evoplayer.com, or just chat with us from our site or application, and then that way we can get to them. Thanks again. Looking forward to that personalization feedback, hoping that you try out that feature, and hoping to see you again soon next week. Thank you, everybody. Bye.